with hosts Jon Impemba and James Grande.
What's going on, everybody? Jon Impemba here with James Grande. Welcome into the Better Baseball MLB DFS Playbook podcast and live stream. Right now, we are recording here on a Monday evening for Tuesday's 12-game main slate. Howard Bender will be on your playbook for Tuesday's 12-game slate. James and I will be back live, 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Give you all the latest news, lineup construction, weather reports, Vegas odds, you name it. We cover it here on the 5 o'clock show. But this is our first instant reaction. You get how James and I approach looking at a slate, our initial thoughts on the matchups, and we'll give you a first look lineup build here as well. James, man, 12 games. How are we feeling about everything?
Yeah, 12 games. Really good slate of pitching. Like really good, and it goes kind of top to mid tier of just option after option after option. There's not going to be a 25% Patrick Corbin on this slate. I'll tell you that, John.
I didn't play any Patrick Corbin. Did you play any Patrick Corbin tonight?
Absolutely. If you guys listen to the live stream, I didn't play Patrick Corbin. If you read the playbook, he was replaced by someone else who's not doing great, but he didn't.
Not doing awful. He's not doing awful. Well, he wasn't last I saw. He did give up another run.
He did. Home run. Yeah, home
run. Those home runs, man. Those home runs.
He gave a home run to former Atlanta Hawk Josh Smith. So, I digress. But yeah, fun 12-gamer. A lot of really good pitching. Doesn't look like there's going to be any weather. Doesn't look like there's any amazing ballparks that we have to take advantage, or that we have to lean to. No Coors, no Great Americans. So, should be a fun overall slate. So let's get into this, John.
Yeah, before we get into a quick shout out here to our partners over at Real Time Fantasy Sports. Got rtsports.com/alarm. Promo code alarm23. New users will get a 100% deposit match up to $200. Take advantage of their DFS pick'em contest that they have out there. Howard Bender every day gives you his picks of the day. You can follow those. James and I give you our favorite plays on the 5 o'clock Eastern show as well. If you're not into DFS pick'em, no worries. They have plenty of best ball contests there, season-long fantasy football and best ball fantasy football championships going on right now, so you can use that deposit match and enter some of those live contests there as well. James, any additional thoughts here for those looking at real-time fantasy sports?
No, just tilting our Abrams play. He was on third in the first inning. I don't know if you were looking at it. We went over half a run. He made it to third base and didn't
doubled
score.
Right off the bat. I'm like, yep, this was the easiest thing of all time. He is currently at the plate, though, here, bottom of the eighth, so maybe he'll do some damage for us here. 3-2, 2 outs. So gets on, maybe a walk, steal a base, and our guy Lane Thomas can drive him in. Anything's possible. Kevin Garnett told me that. All right, real-time fantasy sports here aside, let's take a look at the DraftKings main slate here. Again, 12 games. You talked about that elite pitching. Pablo Lopez, Blake Snell, Julio Urias, Abbott, Morton, Burns, Verlander, a returning Merrill Kelly, all up over $9,000 here on this slate. Talk to me about how you're approaching this. 12 games, a lot of players, obviously. We know there's going to be some value. What's your favorite starter on the board? Which ones are you fading from this tier?
I'm fading Julio Urias. I'll get that out of the way right away. He stinks.
Okay.
I know Toronto's been bottom 10 in baseball against right-handed pitching or left-handed pitching. Fading Julio Urias. He looked terrible again against Baltimore. I know Baltimore hits lefties well, but Urias off the board. Andrew Abbott continues to dominate. 8 scoreless, 1 inning or 1 hit allowed, and now he gets Milwaukee, a bottom 10 team against left-handed pitching.
So I got to ask you. He's faced Milwaukee twice.
Good and bad.
Average and bad.
Average and bad, for sure.
12.5 fantasy points, 3.8 fantasy points.
Yeah, I mean...
He also shut them out in his very first start. So he's faced 3 times now.
Right, now this is back away from home, so he gets a little boost there. Look, Milwaukee is a team that hits home runs. Christian Yelich has been really good against bull splits. Adames hasn't. the end of their lineup has been a little better against left-handed pitching too. Like Monasterio getting called up, he's been fine. Owen Miller, we know, has been pretty good all year. Joey Weimer hits lefties well. So, like, they've been fine, but we just saw, again, the upside that he possesses.
Yeah.
And so I like Abbott. I mean, look, Blake Snell walked 7 guys last time out. That's not going to happen again.
Classic Blake Snell start, right?
I mean, he's been dominant even with this walk total being 3 and 4 pretty much every night. He's still on this crazy run where he doesn't allow any earned runs despite walking 12 base runners in 5 innings and you allow 1 run. That's kind of sick. So I'm definitely going up against Pittsburgh there. I'm fine getting to Lopez. We know what the upside can be with the strikeouts. And Corbin Burns has been on a different planet the last couple starts.
James, I don't mean to interrupt you here, but our guy CJ Abrams just scored a run on a Jeimer Candelario 3-run homer. So
all right, we're 2 for 2. Luis Castillo over strikeouts. Bring it home, Corbin Carroll.
Corbin Carroll to go 3 for 3 on our real-time DFS pick'em plays. So there you go.
True. So great news there. Heimer Candelario, first and foremost, your boy
Homer. He's goated.
He is
Candelario.
He is goated Candelario. I like that. Corbin Burns, though, has been incredible. 23 strikeouts in his last 2 starts, 14 scoreless innings. He's won 4 straight starts, all 4 of the quality variety, 2 of which, John, have come against Cincinnati. He has 21 and 40 fantasy points in those games. He has averaged 26.6 fantasy points against the Reds in 3 starts this year, all 3 of the quality variety. So safe to say the Cy Young Award version of Corbin Burns is back. He no longer wants to be traded. He wants Milwaukee to add pieces to this team. Hard pressed not to get to Corbin Burns here at $9,200.
Yeah, it's a pretty elite spot there. And then, I mean, listen, Corbin Burns, like, any interest in Verlander here against the Yankees?
Yeah, and Verlander against the Yankees. Like, this tier is not shy of of elite talent. And that's why I was saying, like, there's no like clear cut spend down. You can probably, if you wanted to play Burns Verlander, right, like as your top 2 guys, you have $3,900. Like, that's pretty comfortable. Or Verlander, George Kirby, who's $8,700, coming off his best start of the year. And again, like, we've seen the strikeouts from Kirby at times, and they were on display last game. And now he has 2 10 strikeout games this year, one of which against this Minnesota Twins team that he just faced. So I think this pitching tier from Kirby up is like outside of Urias and probably Charlie Morton. Because the Red Sox are so left-handed dominant that like it scares me a little bit. You can make a case for pretty much every name available.
What do you do with Domingo Germán, who one day is elite, one day is not, one day is throwing perfect games?
Dude, I mean, look, I have
9 strikeouts in 3 of the last 4.
I know, it's so like I have faded him a lot this year, and I feel like outside of the day he threw a perfect game, I haven't lost too much money doing it. Like, the win equity is severely lost, right? Like, he doesn't have a lot of win equity, just with how bad the Yankees have been. I know he's home; he'll be, but like, it's probably a fade.
Throwing names out there.
We can play Savali at 7,200.
Savali, Cobb probably against Oakland.
Yeah, I mean, he's very up and down. But yeah, you can play Cobb against Oakland, and then you can play Savali.
With this being a 12-game slate, you probably can just play 2 9K starters.
Correct.
And not really need to go there. So.
And throw Kirby into that mix too. Yeah. Like, you could just add Kirby into that equation.
Yep, I agree with you there. Savali, the lowest we go.
Savali's probably the lowest. Yeah, and nothing else.
Okay.
Really.
Yeah, Pavetta's not going to start this game. He'll open, just for those who are paying attention to the slate right now. He won't open. He'll have an opener for him, rather.
Yeah.
He'll piggyback in that game against Atlanta. Not that we're playing Pivetta against Atlanta, just
no,
mentioning it ahead of time. Don't be surprised come You go to build your lineups and you see there's a long reliever opener situation in Boston. So,
Right.
All right, infielders. Give us our top infielders here on this slate. Again, we identified a lot of good pitching, which obviously will then knock down where we go when it comes to the hitters. But what matchups are you looking to key in on here?
So, starting with the Dodgers, they face Chris Bassett here. So, immediately, what does Chris Bassett do? He doesn't get lefties out.
Gives up a home
So,
run to Freddie Freeman.
he will probably be giving up a home run to one of two guys and maybe both, and that's Freeman and Muncy in the infield. Muncy has hit a lot of home runs lately. 4 in his last 10 games, 3 in his last 4 overall. So Max Muncy back on that power stroke. So Muncy, Freeman's been one of the hottest hitters in baseball. And then someone I talked to, I was very high on Monday is Manny Machado, and he gets Rich Hill here, and he has been very good of late. If you just look in general in July, John, Manny Machado has 10 home runs in July so far. 10.
It's good.
10.
It's a good amount of home runs.
That's with a break for the All-Star game. He has 10 home runs this month. And he didn't even play in Mexico City this month. That was like 2 months ago. So, I'm going to be getting to a lot of Manny Machado against Rich Hill. We know Rich Hill has slowed down drastically, especially against.
He's on his way out of that team, probably.
Yeah, as he should be. So I'm a little worried about Rich Hill here and the home runs that he's going to allow, and they're going to be to Manny Machado. So Machado and the 2 Dodgers would be my top options here.
Okay, yeah, I'll agree with you there as well. I like Bregman against Bradford here.
Yep.
I know recently his numbers have split back towards going good against righties, but still, I think Houston's probably in a pretty good spot. You mentioned the Dodgers guys already. If we're looking up at the second base position, you have Marte against Matz, right? Get a lefty on Matz, Walker against Matz. So some good spots here at the top. Where are you looking at value?
I think there's a lot of really interesting value plays, and that's what we're going to need today. Cusp value play over at first base, Josh Naylor. He gets the matchup against Zach Greinke, and we know how good Naylor's been. Dude, is Josh Naylor, is he going to mess around and lead the league in RBIs?
He may.
Is he going to mess around and literally lead the league in RBIs?
856 OPS, a 300 batting average, and 15 homers?
No, this was like...
Where did that come from? When did it happen? Because he was like borderline not playable for the first month of the year.
Yep. I mean, he's just driving in boatloads of runs. Like, I don't know. But, like, he's also, like, look at some of these games, though. Like, 6 RBIs, 3 RBIs back-to-back. So, like, he has so many multi-run games. So, Naylor at 4K. I love Ha-Seong Kim against a lefty here. $4,400. He'll lead off against Rich Hill. And he's hit lefties extremely well the entire season. So, Ha-Seong Kim. John, Wilmer freaking Flores. Homered again on Monday. Again.
Now he's got
on Monday. And now has Ken Waldichucking up home runs left and right over here.
Affectionately named Ken Waldasuck.
Yeah, I like that one. That's a good one. Ken Waldasuck against Wilmer Flores, who's been
900 OPS, almost a 300 batting average for Wilmer.
Dude,
where do these come from?
Dude, well, I mean, he's hitting home runs like
I know
so much lately. And then there's going to be a lot of value in Arizona. We didn't mention the Christian Walker thing. If he wanted to spend up at first base, he can. He faced Steven Matz. But who starts at third? Maybe Longo, maybe Rivera, maybe both. I know both have been pretty bad of late, but both still have very good numbers against left-handed split specifically.
Yep, I'm with you there. Again, we're going to be looking at Arizona again like we've been for a long time now. And now you hear the rumors this afternoon. They're calling in about Ohtani.
Dude, I said this on the Better Sports Betting Show. I said Baltimore and Arizona were the 2 teams to look out for Ohtani. Those are the 2 teams that I picked out last week filling in for, I think, was it either filling in for you or Howard? Because I didn't fill in for my own. I didn't do my
you
own
filled
show.
in for
I
me
did
on
the one.
Tuesday. Yeah.
And then I filled in for Howard on Friday. And on one of those shows, I said the field was plus 1,200 where Ohtani lands. And I said Baltimore has the prospects and Arizona needs a front end starter more than anything because their
And
offense
Arizona
is.
has the prospects
I mean,
too. You have Drew Jones and Jordan Lawler. So
correct. And some of the guys that they've already called up, Fletcher,
right.
Canzone, like
could spin McCarthy if
they have
to.
right. I mean, listen. As much as we like McCarthy, if they're calling about a top, hey, do you want?
Well,
Jake?
that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Jake
you give him,
look at
the only untouchable in that deal is Corbin Carroll, right? Like he's the only one
Corbin
you don't
Carroll.
move.
Yes.
Which may be the main ask, but I mean, if you give them Drew Jones, I mean, that's a centerpiece play, right?
You cannot even if they call for Carroll. Like I understand.
So real talk though. You do that trade, but you're obviously not giving up much more than Corbin Carroll, right? Because Ohtani is giving you everything offensively plus.
Correct.
He's an ace starter, so.
Well, what I was going to say is I think I agree, but it's contingent on him signing. Like you're not trading Corbin Carroll if there's no.
I've said that from the very beginning, talking to Matt Sells and conversations. I'm like, the only way the Angels can maximize this Ohtani deal is if there's some pre-negotiations where he signs a long-term deal right after the deal happens, because teams are not going to empty their farm system for 6 months or 3 months of a guy,
Nor should they. And nor should they.
That'll be the interesting thing there. And now the Angels are on a win streak, and they're not sure if they want to sell the man. He's not re-signing. So,
I know.
Anyway, side tangent. I know side tangent there. A lot of value on this slate, and again, we're looking to spend up, double spend at pitcher, so at least on the first look here. So we're gonna need to find some value, and we definitely think you can get there at some of these positions in the infield. Let's move on over to the outfield now. Take a look at some of these top guys. Again, a lot of expensive plays. 5 guys over 6K, 6 guys over 6K. Acuna, Betts, back to second base outfield. Tatis, Tucker, Robert, and Carroll up over $6,000 here. Tucker hit 3 homers the other day, and a lefty was on the mound to start that game. So no fear. No fear for Kyle Tucker there.
No fear for Kyle Tucker. Also, just a side note, Jordan is down to 5K and could return in this game. If you paired him and Tucker, you will never going to see Jordan at 5K again. So just throwing that out there. I love Kyle Tucker here against whoever. Bradford is profiling more as an opener. I know he was extended a little bit, John, like out of the break and before the break. But his last 2 outings were 1 and 1 in the 3rd inning. So it looks like he's kind of moved back to the bullpen. So we'll see what the official announcement is there with the Rangers starting. But yeah, Tucker, regardless on really who the Rangers are putting out there. I think Tatis is an elite play against a lefty and Rich Hill. You can play you can play Soto, Carroll. They're in the lefty spots. We haven't mentioned any Braves, but you can obviously play Braves against Pivetta if you want. I really like Springer, by the way, against Urias.
Okay.
5,300. I know he hasn't been great, but
people were in on Toronto supposedly on the Monday slate, but I don't think anyone's going to be picking on Toronto against Urias just because of the name value that Urias sort of still holds. So you'll probably have a low rostered Blue Jays lineup there, which hasn't actually paid off for anybody this year except for the 20-run game 2 months ago. Chas McCormick's at the 4,900. Shush.
Well, he's hitting about that price in thousands he's hitting in hundreds.
We haven't talked too much Natty Gomber on the mound. I will say, as we're recording here, Lane Thomas got hit by a pitch and removed from tonight's game. So I don't know how serious that hit was, but Vargas ended up having to pinch run for him after he was hit by a pitch prior to the Candelario home run. So good chance that Lane Thomas probably isn't then in the lineup, depending on what type of injury he sustained there. So, just shouting that out for Washington there, because we know there's a lot of value in the outfield for Washington. Stone Garrett will be cheap. Alex Call will be cheap. We'll have to see what else they do in that lineup here. But, with the lefty on the mound in Gomber, like Candelario, CJ Abrams, we're not afraid of, Vargas, I guess, would probably end up being in the lineup there, right? So, there's a lot of great options. Love, as Mark affectionately said on our live stream earlier today, it's not a better baseball show without Twins and Nationals exposure. We haven't talked much Minnesota here because we do like Kirby, so maybe not in on them here. But Cody Bellinger at 4,600 against Kopech.
Yes.
Like, lock in. This man
Dude,
still raking. 436, 1324 OPS the last 10. 5 homers. Homered again the other day. Sheesh. If it wasn't for Luis Urias hitting 380, but Bellinger might be making a run at a batting title.
Yep.
4,600 is too cheap for a guy like him.
Even if, we don't even know if he's going to be in the NL by the end of this trade
that's
deadline.
fair.
So.
That's fair. The 1 year deal, right? So definitely got to sell high on that.
Yep. Oh, dude. Oh, if you're the Cubs and you don't trade him, that is the biggest mistake.
I'd agree 1,000%. Lourdes is 45 here. Again, you talk about Atlanta. Harris is still 42. Can get in on that deal. Are you shying away from Boston all against Morton? They're in Boston, so that offense hammers at home. Yoshida, Devers, Duran. I don't know if you've seen what Tristan Casas has been doing lately. He's 2,800. He is 452, 1592, 5 homers. Everything we just told you about Cody Bellinger, Tristan Casas is him right now. So I've been talking about the breakout coming for Tristan Casas for a while.
You said it, yeah.
We're here, folks. He
we
was
are
a top
here
25 prospect in baseball at one point. He led Team USA in home runs during the Olympics. Got a slight MLB adjustment for the first half of this year. Look out, world. He's under 3K. Shouldn't be under 3K. Morton's a good pitcher, but Casas will not be under 3K for much longer. So Yoshida, Devers fits Casas right into that lineup well for Boston. Some other value down here. Eloy's 4K. Even against Hendricks, I'm good. Love that spot for him. Nolan Jones gets Trevor Williams. We talked about lefty splits for Trevor Williams the other day.
He's been terrible against both splits this year, too. Colorado a little sneaky because Grishik has 3 hits again.
Nolan Jones homered off Corbin tonight, and you called it. Nolan Jones hitting lefty. So. Yeah, so good spot there. And we're only up at the upper 3Ks. There's definitely a lot more value as we kind of work our way down the list here. Let's see. Willie Benson, even though it's against Burns, he has a hit and a stolen base tonight. Suzuki versus Kopech down to 32. Jokes against the lefty and Bradford. Let's see. Henry Davis gets Snell. Could be a spot for him there.
Dude, I'm not gonna. I know I mentioned Grishik, but I do want to just mention he's been on one lately, and he has 3 hits on Monday as well. 32. Right next to Henry Davis.
100%.
Went into the night with 1,100 OPS. He is currently 3 for 5, 2 runs scored, and an RBI. So
Janikowski at second tonight. He's got JP France, $3,100. Leotes is 3K.
Yep. Dude, it's why is Texas getting cheaper?
Because they don't have Seager, so they're like, oh, yeah. Let's see, what else do we have then? Jordan Walker's $2,900. Yeah.
He's been pretty bad of late.
Let's see here. Myers at 28. Jake Myers, maybe, but
yeah, he's been good. Yeah, he's been good. You can play lefties against Kirby if you wanted to. That's written his worst split. So if you did want to play Kepler or Kirilloff or Julian, he does kind of stink against lefties. So if you wanted to play that,
Stone Garrett, like I said, $2,700. Still hanging out down here. Alex Call, 26. Wilmer, as you
Wilmer hits
mentioned. Yeah.
lefties
So
well.
actually, the wild Wilmer split, and someone tweeted it out, and I was like, I hate, we talk about sample sizes, but when it comes to like betting, I hate very small sample sizes. And it was like Joey Weimer at home against lefties. And it was the reason that this guy bet the Weimer home run call, and it hit.
Yikes.
And I'm like, unbelievable, like craziness. I'm going to pull it up right now just so I can like regurgitate exactly what the number was. Because we talk about the Willy Adames home against righties all the time, but like the Weimer versus lefties at home was like such a small sample size, and yet
because he's a rookie.
Yeah,
because he's a rookie.
It was like plus 800 a homer, and it came through. It was like unbelievable. This guy's gonna only bet this now, forever. Let's see, what is he now? 375 ISO at home against lefties was like the tweet. It's 927 OPS. On the year, 25% home run to fly ball ratio. He has 4 homers and 40 at bats at home against lefties. So like basically 1 in every 10 at bats, he's homering against lefties. So,
but it's a
40 at bat sample. But the guy called it in the last game. I think it was against Abbott. And I was like, I can't believe this hit. But yeah, Weimer at home against lefties is a play, I guess. So. Hey, listen, what does Adames say? He likes the hitter backdrop. Well, obviously, so did Joey Weimer, I guess.
Right.
So, all right, so that's the value. There's more guys that will.
I got one more. Yeah, I got one more.
Zone?
If Atlanta, he's 27 years old. If they start this Forrest Wall kid, he had 45 stolen bases at AAA this year. He pinch ran the other day. He's 2K. He had 2 stolen bases. He pinch ran, stole 2 bases. Like,
Who's
I don't think he's going to start. But if he... it looks like he's just... Eddie Rosario. He pinch ran for Rosario. So Rosario... He didn't... let's see. Did anyone...
Somebody had to have gotten sent down.
Oh, you know what? They sent Soroka down.
Yeah, that's what it was. Okay.
Just throwing it out there.
This is the Blanco play.
40...
Right? Only Blanco got caught
45, yeah.
Out there. All right, we got about a minute or so to build a lineup here, so let's get one in. Where are we going? Verlander, Burns?
Burns, yes.
Did you say the same thing I said at the same time?
I said Burns, you said Verlander. So we both were on the same page.
Would you rather Kirby or Verlander?
Kirby for strikeout up. Keep Verlander. It's fine.
Catcher play. Kybert? Okay. We can go cheaper if we need to. First base, Wilmer?
First base, Wilmer, for
sure. Second base.
Ha-Seong Kim, who just led off the game with a home run. Okay. We don't have to, but...
No, that's fine. Third base.
Would
you rather... Does Wilmer first base only? Figures. I was going to say Casas is down there. Third base. It's our Candelario. Candelario. Shortstop.
Skipping ahead. I don't know, so let's do value outfield.
I'll temporarily put Abrams, and we'll figure out.
Grishik.
Actually, we do Kim at short. Let's do Kim at short.
Yeah, let's do Kim at short. That works.
Maybe see Marte at second. 3,700 an outfielder. What's it?
Grishik at 32.
Stone. Then 5,300.
That's a Springer Dinger.
Yeah, Jordan.
Or Jordan if he's.
We'll one off Jordan for now, and we'll adjust if we need to.
We can.
We can always move things around. Again, this is our first look lineup. James and I will be back live, 5:00 Eastern time. Those of you not yet a member of the Fantasy Town family, see the scroll down at the bottom. Ending this week is the 50% off first 6 months promo. So if you're not yet signed up, fantasytown.com/allpro. Promo code MLB50 will save you 50% off the first 6 months. That takes you all the way through the NFL season. So now you're getting the entire NFL DFS season for 50% off there, $19.98 a month. That ends the end of this week. So act now, get involved today, get access to all of our content, not just MLB, NFL, but NHL and NBA will be included in this 6 month span. James and I do all of the NBA DFS content. So get in, join the family here today. We'll talk to you all later at 5 o'clock Eastern.